I'm allergic to scams. Can't you tell? Every time I get within a 1 mile radius of a car dealership, my face swells up like a balloon. Anytime I see an ad on YouTube promoting a paid course that teaches you how to create a paid course, I go on a rapid fire sneeze. So now, when somebody mentions the name Billy McFarland, my body just straight up has a conniption of all of these symptoms at once, like a human hot air balloon of cringe. He is the antichrist of fraud, the final boss of tech bros, or as many would call him, the poster child of millennial scams. If you haven't heard of the name Billy McFarland, it's probably because his entire personality down to his face appears to be AI generated. Like, quite literally, if you entered a prompt into Gemini and typed, "Generate an image of a tech bro trying to sell me some bullshit," this is the result you get. Billy here is tied to one of the worst scams in modern history, called Fyre Festival. I'm today years old because I only discovered this tragedy happened like 8 years ago. Basically what happened is this guy created a fake music festival, paid big name celebrities to promote it, and then when it actually happened, people showed up to nothing but a field of emergency rescue tents. The scene here looks like something out of those liminal space videos where it shows a montage of backroom-esque places that are completely lifeless. So then, only after everyone paid a fortune to show up to his Krabby Land type event, there was no music, there was no artists, no food, and even crazier, no toilet paper. It's like Fyre Festival 1 predicted COVID. Also, on the subject of food, there was no fine dining like advertised. People were just provided these sad-looking cheese sandwiches you'd find at a 7-Eleven at 3 a.m. Imagine paying $1,000 just to be dumped on an island in the Bahamas like it's a game of Fortnite, which, ironically, released that very summer. Like, it was so insane that the BBC jumped in and made a whole Netflix documentary about it. So anyways, with all this being said and done, Billy McFarland announced Fyre Festival 2, which I believe was earlier this year, and it had eyebrows raised from the very start. In this interview with Today News, he talks about how this time it's going to be different, because it's going to be real. Keep in mind, there is no set-in-stone location, there's no lineup, there's no concrete plan, but I'm sure he's totally telling the truth here. Prison must have set him straight. Yeah, no, this couldn't be further from the truth. I don't think even a lifetime sentence could keep us safe from Billy here.
Need the extra month to give our partners time to get everything ready.
Using partners is new this time around. McFarland is no longer handling the details. A major festival operator is on board, along with hotel and travel partners and ticketing companies.
Why do you think those partners agreed to partner with you, given what happened the first time?
Fyre 2 really isn't about the past, and it's not really about me. It's about taking the vision, which is strong. So we're going to have artists across electronic, hip-hop, pop, and rock. However, it's not just music. We might have a professional skateboarder do a demonstration. You might have an MMA champion teach you techniques in the morning. And
you say we might have. Are any of these for sure haves? Are they booked?
So I think what makes Fyre so cool is that we are selling the experience of Fyre. I want to be one of the first festivals that can sell out with no artists.
But you do have them booked.
We're announcing the artists over the next few months, so I'm not in charge of booking the talent.
As I said before, this dude is like an AI-generated avatar that can't die. He just exists as a real-life Wilson Fisk just to keep laundering money until the end of time. And speaking of laundering money, this dude still owes an estimated $30 million in restitution to the victims he scammed back in 2017. With that in mind, I'll give you a second here to put 2 and 2 together. Got it? Okay, good. Yeah, so, Fyre Festival 2 is literally his way out of repaying his debt, which is probably one of the stupidest maneuvers I've ever seen pulled in my entire life. This guy literally thinks that wire fraud and criminal theft is as simple as being put into timeout, like it's a GTA 5 roleplay server. Like, all he has to do is wait for the cooldown, walk out, and scam more people. You'll notice too that the tickets he's selling for Fyre Festival 2 look like rare loot crates you find in every modern FPS title. Also, you think 25,000 is a lot? but his most expensive ticket sells for $1.1 million per unit. What you get for $1.1 million is yacht accommodations and access to performing artists. There's a lot to unpack with that statement alone. $1.1 million? Just buy your own yacht at that point. Or buy a decent piece of real estate, even when you consider today's economy. Once again, there's no artists. There's literally no lineup. Also, I've seen backstage passes for A-list bands sell for the price of a 1999 junkyard Honda Civic. What artists do you actually have access to? Jesus Christ himself? Like, this is an obvious scam once again, and his play is most likely to keep postponing the event. It's such a weird game that he's playing because inevitably he will just go back to prison and owe even more debt. I don't typically say this often about people who fall victims to fraud, but I'm saying this to you now. If you buy these fake tickets with your hard-earned money, you deserve to lose that money because it's all going into Billy's pocket. I know he said this whole thing is outsourced and he has no involvement with the booking process, but somewhere in all of this, he gets a payout no matter how he tries to spin the story. So in this official announcement flyer here, he talks about how Fyre Festival 2 is being hosted by an outsourced production company called Lost Nights, which you couldn't pick a more fitting name. He talks about how you will go on boundary-pushing excursions by day and uniting for intimate beachside performances at night. But literally, there is no further description other than this. It's just word salad of things like the vision, the experience, the music, to make people think something is going down. We're just seeing history repeat itself again. And I'm sure if BBC had a publicly traded stock, everyone would be investing their money towards the Fyre Festival 2 documentary, not the Fyre Festival itself, which would also be the funniest Uno reverse card in history. Now for the latest update. Fyre 2 is no longer taking place in Isla Mujeres, Mexico, due to backlash from city officials. Shocker. You know what? It's their loss. They don't know what they're missing out on. It's Fyre 2, baby. This sequel is really gonna burn the house down with this one. So last minute, they decided to move the venue to Playa del Carmen, another city in Mexico where officials also told Billy and his crew to kick rocks. This dude is straight up not welcome across the globe now. And I mean, this is exactly what the doctor ordered. Billy cannot leave New York as part of his sentencing. So I doubt there's any reality where they host this event in any part of Mexico. The venue will just continue to change, and so will the dates. But yeah, this is Fyre Festival 2. It is nothing but a rough draft that Billy wrote down in a Google Doc, and if this thing actually happens and meets all expectations, I will personally donate my left nut to buy Fyre Festival 3 tickets in 2030. Let's be honest though, this is not happening, and I'll give up my left nut as a bet against the odds. Thanks for watching.